What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Today in Ace Combat. Today is October 10th, and back in 1990, Excalibur's ground facilities are being constructed. Also, in other news, back in 1997, Abyssal Dijon was born. One of my favorite characters from Ace Combat 3. I love everything about this guy. He's a perfect villain. Also, in other news, back in 2004, Operation Wideout, aka Mission 3 from Ace Combat 4, takes place in Mount Chesna, which is located in northern Yuja, northwest of St. Arc. So Allied forces and survivors are retreating from the northern port of St. Arc to North Point. The retreat was covered by erosion radar atop of Mount Chesna, where the radar sites are located. This is where the fighter squadron and Mobius 1 come in. This operation is important for a big push in the war, as destroying the radar sites will hide troop movement and blind the enemy. Since the radar site is near an erosion airspace, they send in some fighters to help defend. And you know, they are fortunately no match for ISAF forces as they move in to destroy the first set of radars. Erusia tries to do the same thing for the next radar group, but is taken out with swiftness. And after all radar sites and fighters are destroyed, ISAF returns back to base. The ISAF ground forces retreat back to North Point and prepare for a counter-offensive attack.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Osean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and I shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
"You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness."
Just what did you see here?
Also in other news, back in 2019, Operation Reflux, aka Mission 17 Homeward, takes place in Tyler Island, located in southwest Usea. This is a huge battle during the Lighthouse War. There's actually 3 different operations that occurred during this time. Operation Reflux, which was carried out by LRSSG, Operation Feeding Time, which is carried out by Erusian Radicals, and lastly, Operation No Return, which is carried out by Erusian Conservatives. All enemies are marked unknown just like the last mission, so unfortunately you do have to identify them before attacking. And after taking out enough enemies, or the time passing, a group of unknown targets will appear from the east.
ID now. Mission complete. Wait, multiple bogeys from the east. Their timing tells me they're not here to bring good news.
After identifying them, they seem to be Erusian Tu-160s that you need to destroy. They're attempting to take out the mass driver on Tyler Island. Remember that big long 7.5 mile thing we used to launch a ship in Ace Combat 5? It's that thing. Luckily, they were no match for Strider and Cyclops squadrons. And thus, we received the very first mission update.
Dumbass with a scratches on his tail. Here's a bit of intel for you. Share it so you can help those refugees.
There's some enemy vehicles attacking Avril, Princess Rosa, and some refugees. The enemy targets are unknown, but thanks to Longcaster's data link, they are targets. And you know what we must do? We gotta take them out. These enemies are a piece of cake as well. After saving them, you receive another mission update.
A promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
2 supply ships are launched from the mass driver, and you must shoot them down before they leave the combat area or its mission failed. Lightning and other enemy aircraft will get in your way here, so be cautious. That's right, it's time to hold down that accelerate button. You want to make sure you have some flares available as well. The only thing that's really in your way here is that annoying ass weather.
Out there. Shoot for the one down.
Target's using cloud cover to hide itself.
By the time you catch up to these things, blast them up with some missiles, and once these are taken out, it's mission complete. Alrighty everyone, that's going to be it for today's episode of Today in Ace Combat. I want to know in the comment section below, out of all the operations that took place today, which one was your favorite and why? For me personally, I really like the challenge behind Operation No Return. I mean, it's really stress-inducing, but I do like the fact that they gave something different to the table here. Instead of being the one protecting the mass driver and trying to make sure that all these enemy forces don't reach the mass driver, well, this time we're trying to take those out. I mean, look, we don't want the Erusians, to go and launch this ship up in the air, and now we're fucked because the Arsenal bird is completely stocked up and ready to go against us. If you guys haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and join the Discord. The links are in the description down below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I love you guys so much. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, and of course, as always, I will see you all in solitary.